दिया, इसलिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सुमित्रा जी। श्री दीपेंद्र हुडा।
Thank you, sir. Let me begin by congratulating our finance minister for steering our economy clear of the global recession, a recession which has been worse since the Great Depression. Let me also congratulate him for the budget which he has presented, which I am here to support. This budget, sir, is a bold budget. This budget, sir, is a balanced budget, and I'll explain how. Let me start by explaining the bold part of it. When all the economic experts were worried about the fiscal deficit, I think the finance minister has chosen to take a risk by expanding on our fiscal expenditure, and I think it's a calculated risk, and I'll tell you why. First, during times of recession, when the private investment which has been driving the growth of our country for the last decade is evaporating, I think there could be no better time to increase our expenditure on the social sector and the public expenditure on infrastructure. And that's why Finance Minister has chosen to ignore the expenditure side of the balance sheet. Second, whenever the difference between the revenues and the expenditure increase for the government has to go for borrowings. With the current excess liquidity available in the banking system, in our credit system, I think this is the best time that a government can actually increase its borrowing. So I think this is a very calculated risk, and it's a good risk. Second, I think this budget is a balanced budget. This is a budget that balances political expectations with the economic compulsions. This is a budget that bridges India with Bharat. This is a budget that balances investment-led growth with consumption-led growth. And this is a budget which balances continuity and change. We needed continuity because that is where we got our mandate from. Expenditure on social sectors, expenditure on education, health, agriculture, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Bharat Nirman, all those things were required, and we needed to increase those expenditure. We needed to continue with that. But along with that, we also needed change. Why did we need change? Because the private investment that was driving the growth of our country for the last decade was evaporating up. The only way in which we could protect the growth of our country was to adopt a twofold policy. One, we needed to increase the public expenditure on infrastructure and some of these schemes that I talked about, which the finance minister has done. But that would not be sufficient. We have to necessarily move from an investment-led growth to a demand-led growth, private consumption-led growth. Last decade has seen the fall of private consumption, the fall of domestic demand as a percentage of our GDP. It is alarming, sir, that the private financial consumption